Today I'm going to show you how to do the method that is used for lock attachments, reattachments, repairs, and also permanent lock extensions. Right now, I'm actually combing out the root of a dreadlock that I'm actually going to reattach using the permanent lock extension technique on my daughter's hair. The side of her hair has been shaved for about 3 years now. So we cut off about 5 locks when she was 10 because she was just going through a stage where she wanted something different. So that's what we did. Right here, I'm kind of just showing you where I lined it up. But this is where the actual method is useful. So what I did is I parted the hair, and I'm using a crochet needle. I think it's 1.3 millimeters, and I'm actually creating an instant lock on her natural hair. And the reason for that is because I want to give the attached lock something to kind of hold on to. So I can do it just using how her hair is fluffy right there. I can just start adding the lock in there. But I found that this method works so much better for me. I go ahead and start retwisting the hair in the same direction as her other locks. And then it's hard for me to explain what's actually happening inside of the lock and what I'm doing. I'm just turning the hair and just going back and forth with my crochet needle. And what it's doing is creating what is called an instant lock. And I know a lot of people have heard of instant locks. You can do this all over your hair, and when you leave, you are completely locked by doing this method. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm just going to keep on working it until I create what we would call budding when you're actually doing the natural locking process. It doesn't matter if you start with 2-strand twists, coils, comb curls, braid locks, or whatever. We all look forward to budding. That's where you have that little knot of hair where your hair is actually starting to lock. So I'm just creating that with this technique. So we're bypassing all of the months long process of creating a lock. So I'm going to keep on keeping on until, I created that bud where you can kind of see where it's already locked right there. And now I took her dreadlock. These are her natural locks that she grew from her scalp. And as you see, I combed out a little bit of the tip right there. And I'm going to take that part that I combed out and place it right on her hair, right underneath the bud that I created. And you'll see here. And I'm just going to kind of put it in there. You can wrap it, you can twist it, but I just like to hold it. And I'm showing you my crochet hook. There you go. It's a 1.3 millimeter, yes. Okay, so the same thing I was doing when I didn't have the lock in my hand, I'm doing the same thing, except this time I'm taking the hair and I'm creating the instant lock, or what you would call a permanent lock extension. I'm creating that right now just by simply tangling the hair or matting the hair with my crochet hook. The process does not take that long once you get the hang of it, it doesn't take that long. First couple times, it probably will take you a little bit longer than expected, but you just want to keep on. And this part is actually the longest part of the whole process. We're just going to keep on, and I just keep turning the lock. And the reason why I'm turning it is because I want it to be uniform. I don't want it to be really thick on one side or really flat on one side. So I just keep on turning it, and I'm just making sure that everything is uniform. It looks nice. It looks natural. And I actually have a lot of fun when I'm doing these, though. So we're just going to keep on. And I'm just feeling it so I can feel my bud where I have that bud at. I like to make sure that I'm locking the hair from the lock into that bud as well. You see me wrapping it around. That's just me making sure that everything is getting touched, or everything is getting worked on. If I'm wrapping it, if I'm constantly moving it, then I know that I'm touching every part or every side of the hair and I'm not missing anything. So we're gonna keep on doing that. I probably should have sped this part up a little bit, but I didn't, because I wanted you guys to really see what I'm doing. And now that I'm watching it, it's kind of difficult for you to see what I'm doing, but I hope I'm doing a good job with explaining it. Again, I'm checking it out, and as you see, it's still kind of fluffy. It's attached by now, but it's still fluffy, and it does not look like a dreadlock. So we're gonna keep on working at it until it looks like I want it to look. It feels how I want it to feel. I want the lock to feel uniformed from top to bottom. I want it to look uniformed. After you do a lock attachment or lock extensions, lock repair, you'll be able to get a retwist right after. That's my reason for not attaching it like all the way up to the root. I don't think it looks natural when you have that big bud just sitting right there at the root. So I make sure I start it down just a little bit so that I'm able to give a full retwist right after the service. If you look at my left hand, the one with the rings on it, you can kind of see how I'm just like, I hold the lock, but I'm taking my thumb and I'm feeling and rolling it as I'm crocheting with my right hand. Might get a little stuck in there. That's okay. And the good thing about this is not a painful process at all, because you're not pulling at the scalp. You're not actually pulling the hair. So I finished it. I just kept twisting it. I don't know how I didn't get the end of that, but anyway, I just kept twisting it, kept filling it. And as you see, those are all the locks, the 5 locks that I reattached. And now I'm going to give her a retwist right after the service so that you can see. You can pull on them. You can tug on them. They are fully locked. They're not going to go anywhere. Believe me, she made sure to check, because she's like, Mom, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. So we pulled on them. We made sure that they were in. I palm roll my hair and both of my daughter's hair. And my reason for palm rolling is I just like the way it looks. All 3 of us have thick locks, and I just love the way it looks. I did try to interlock our thick locks when we first started, and it did not do very well. It's not a good thing to do if you have thick locks, and that's only because it will give you those thinner spots where you interlock. So I'm just giving a full soft retwist. As you see, I'm not putting a whole lot of tension on her hair, but this is because all 3 of us are tender-headed, so I don't ever do a really tight retwist. I always do something soft and manageable, and I put it up in a ponytail after I was done. They are shorter than her hair that has been naturally growing, but we love it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.